We do want to caution some, there are some social media elements out there who purport to have information that is direct from the investigation. I just want to reiterate that that is not the case. Some of the information that is being provided on some of the social media channels is inaccurate, incomplete. We don't want this to damage the investigation, so we would just caution anyone who is following the case to just use some caution as to what you see and what you believe.
That seem like they are living their best life ever, while this man is sitting in a quiet home in the dark, crying his eyes out every night for his son. Much different, much different. So like all those people, like Jay is for justice, that wants to sit there and say because this man called some dog a mutt that he must not want to find his son is disgusting to me. Is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. This is a searcher that chose to ghost this man. I'm sure he was frustrated, and I'm sure I could have thought of a million things to call Jules and her dogs besides mutts. So shame on you, Jay is for justice. You know, maybe get something out of your mouth that's been in there way too long. That's what I would say to you, just to say. So it's very upsetting to see these comments come from creators that used to have integrity and stuff like that. But, you know, again, we're moving our channel away from this crap and nonsense. We have the blinders taken off of our face. We know that when somebody gets their feelings hurt here on the streets of YouTube, that they decide to attack an innocent man because of their hurt feelings with bullshit and untruths from channels that have hundreds of thousands of people. Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. The good news is I am not beholden to them or their nonsense because I'm Bullhorn Betty and I have well over her subs. And I'm going to use my platforms to expose this. It's not really exposing because they're doing it themselves, right? So it's just taking their words and putting it on different platforms so people can truly see who they are. And believe me, I will say this again. I will make sure for these people that have decided to take this narrative and run with it, this untrue narrative and run with it, knowing, intentionally inflicting additional distress upon this man, intentional, knowing and willfully knowing that those are lies and manipulation to alter their own audience is shameful. Absolutely shameful. Now, I have no problem with Jules, but I call dogs mutts here and there all the time. You know? Does it mean that I don't want a family member found? Seems to be insightful language. Insightful language. Shame on all of them. But she didn't know, I knew. Well, girlfriend, I knew a long time ago about you. I kept my mouth shut because I have integrity. But let me tell you, people with skeletons in their closet are one of the first people to try to show everybody else's skeletons. Just saying. Just saying. All right, so we have a body there. This is over in the Nashville area. Many of us are familiar with the Cumberland River. The Cumberland River is where Riley Strain was pulled out of. Okay, the Cumberland River was where Riley Strain was pulled out of. If you have nothing to contribute to Sebastian's army, trying to find him, trying to advocate for him, trying to promote him, I want nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing. If you want to keep going down the realm of beating up his father, which we know did not have anything to do with this, you will have to deal with Bullhorn Betty. And trust me, I have no problem putting my reputation. I have no problem jeopardizing my channel. I have no problem losing subscribers to come after people that are doing wrong. I do it lawfully and legally. I don't do some of this bullshit that these people here on these streets do, the unlawful crap. But don't think that your skeletons in your closet will not be front page news on my channel. And I got a lot of dirty information about a lot of nasty bitches on here that can't keep their freaking legs closed, or their mouths, for that matter. And that's pretty embarrassing, especially when you bring it to my front door. That makes it part of my story, and I can speak it. Just FYI. You guys know I'll do it. I don't want to, but I will. Big difference. This father did not do anything. Everybody here needs to be getting focused on Sebastian. Wherever your information leads your case in Sebastian, follow your leads. If they lead to the front doorstep of Seth, then talk to him about it. Then bring your information to the world and show it, like we've been showing for Katie and Chris, if that's where your investigation leads you. But having these narrative-driven bullcrap posts about this man doesn't want to find his kid because he called some dogs mutts is ridiculous and stupid, childish, and petty. And that's something I would expect from a professional on these streets. But there is a narrative-driven from a loyalty that you shouldn't have. Just saying. But hey, I don't know what I'm talking about, do I? And many of you probably don't either, but you know when I talk like this, the person I'm talking to knows exactly who I'm talking to. All right, guys, God bless. Go rock it out with your coffee beans out. But I'm telling you, let's focus this back on Sebastian. Sebastian is a beautiful boy that was
because her son is missing, and then you got this whacker job and all these other nutballs following around taking pictures of her. And you're putting it all over like you're doing, Daddy, showing it, and you're putting a narrative behind it like, look at her, look how happy she is. She don't have a defective child. She's got a real good job now. You're sick. Something is really wrong with you, woman. You are.
Well, the sad part about it is they're putting pictures up of this child. They're posting pictures of this child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. I don't know what you look at in the house of the Lord. It's been debunked. It was
I
all
don't
fake.
believe it. I don't even believe it. That girl was in
Wow.
God's house. That little
That's right,
girl
man.
was in God's
Hmm.
house.
And worship and try to get following around taking pictures.
Child.
Well, Ollie, Olivia, all of them had like little spy pins on their shirts going into that Lord's house just so they could video people in there. What was it? The Sunday school teacher? They watching her? Was it? No, what was it? They were just going there recording in the Lord's house. Just that's
Yeah, and
evil.
set their butts right down beside the Sunday school. They sat right down beside
Yes, that's
the
what it
Sunday
was.
school
Yes,
teacher. Summer Sunday school teacher.
yes, yep. And Molly the Moose videoed her child and got in trouble for that shit by the law.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Baby, you got problems, bitch. You need help. Serious mental help.
You know, I thought you got a new car, but I'm hearing that.
I think you're mad.
She did. I'm hearing that that car is her friend's. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Oops, hit the wrong one. There we go.
And these people taking pictures
Yeah,
for
yeah,
her
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
That's grosser. That's grosser. Man, you don't know who these people are. You know, you sat right over there and gave the spiel. You don't know somebody could kill me and it'll be all y'all's fault. You don't know who these people are, Betty. What you're putting in their brain.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm.
Us parents that there's a lot of cameras in their neighborhood. Something should have been picked up. Before we walking out of his home should have been picked up on one of those cameras. That's what the problem is with law enforcement. Because if that child walked out of the house, he would be picked up. They're trying to say that neighborhood is pitch black and you can't see anything. I'm sorry, but there are lights on houses all over the place. We definitely have lights
Well,
on
yeah, there is now, Dun.
God. Ricocheting off the back of a vehicle that was sitting where it should not have been sitting.
Hey, I don't know if you was paying attention
Yeah,
to when all the
yeah.
people.
Excuse me,
Look, I don't know if she didn't pay attention to when all the other tragedy pimps went over there flying their little ollie hoover things over the house and running up down the streets and carrying on like something.
Yeah.
Even they were saying this place is pitch dark.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's what they said. That's what we think, Francis, too. Yeah. She's mad. I think she's mad and she's spiraling. You need to be in house and get your med. You need meds, girl. You're gonna end up getting hurt, or you're gonna end up getting somebody hurt. Just saying.
They are. They are. Yeah, they sure. They really are.
Yeah. That's why we look. Remember, last year we didn't bother her at all because she went talking about harassing people going in real life in front of houses to jobs. We didn't bother her at all, y'all. I didn't bother Betty for a whole year after Quentin Simon, after all that shit went down. Thank you, Green Eye, for the $2.
We didn't talk about her, cover her, or anything.
Nope.
We didn't talk about her, cover her.
Yep, she sure did never lose hope. We watched it. Sure did. I can't blow it up.
She could order dinner from Uber Eats or something and it arrived.
Right there.
I don't gotta do anything. He will take care of it. So
Yep.
you just keep sitting over there being weird. You apparently need to go back and study your scripture and quit studying this if you want to use it.
Oh, I got it, Tracy. I got that clip. Don't worry, I got that. Time the phone call. Clue. Yeah. Here we go.
Whatever happened. Give me a second.
Y'all see that right there? Y'all see what she's doing right there? She's hanging the phone up. Now, if somebody's breathing in your ear as you claim, why are you hanging the phone up, Betty? Did y'all catch that?
Anybody's. And he said, yes, sir, I run a tight ship. Remember that? So no possibility of this man, this Matthew Mucklek, being associated with Sebastian Rogers. So all the people out there that want to run with this story, I just tanked it for you. Okay? Not associated. So if you're going to be talking about the story, please say factual information. As a follower, we know how hard you work. You should not. As a follower, we know how hard you work. You should not have to feel like you have to keep telling us how hard you. I'm not. I'm telling the animals out there because you got to understand they're running nonstop. Do you know that right now the narrative on those hate channels is that I attacked and stopped Terry Bowersox. Allie, that's what's being spread. So their people are tuning in to watch the show so they can go back and give them little notes so they can try to, attack me later today with what's said on this. So no, I'm not talking to the people that follow me and know how hard my work is. I'm talking to the idiots in the back that sit there and try to run narratives that are filled with lies and mistruths and misrepresentation intentionally. That's who I'm talking to. I know that you guys are here, but you got to understand these people that are coming over here. They're listening to narratives being ran on these ghetto channels, and they're thinking it's true because they don't believe that their content creator is lying to their face, and they are to incite them because they think they're pawns. They think that they're literally controllable. Like your audience, like the person that's speaking to you is trying to control you as their pawn. Like you're their little bitch. And I just think that everybody out there that's on these channels should know that they're being bitched. They're bitching you. They're bitching you out. Like you are their little bitch. They ain't doing the work. They're making you do the work.
Like we were told, Sebastian didn't utilize computers, didn't utilize the internet or anything like that, which I found very weird at the beginning. We were told by Chris and Katie, Sebastian did not, he played his game, but he was not on the internet. He didn't use the internet. He wasn't on the internet. And
River Road. Where's that on the other side?
Sir,
you get in your car and go, please? No, we're done.
I'm
No,
walking.
no, get in with her.
I'm partially. I can't walk right now.
Well, then go now, please.
What's going on?
Nothing. We're on a federal property.
Oh,
We
that's all
didn't have
everyone-
permission. Fish and Wildlife.
Gotcha.
And I'm the PD right now.
I'm going up to the end of the road. They want everybody off the road. So, yeah, they're telling everybody to get off the road now. They're telling everybody, get in your cars now. Get off the road. Get off the road. So I'm going to walk up to the front of the road. And drive, so we'll see, we'll see what's going on. They don't want anyone on the property. So, something's going on, folks. They're kicking everyone off.
It did hit on something. I mean, is it could be something that was blown over that?
Are they bringing LE?
Apparently they were, because somebody called. They were going to have us put out.
Yeah.
And we had to get out now. I mean, I was like, okay, we got to go.
Gotcha.
But no, there was something. There's a fresh mound of something. I don't know what it could be, but the dog did hit it. It alerted. I've seen the alert. And there was something that had some.
Well, what brought them to that location?
A tip.
A tip.
Yes.
A tip from.
That was called in. I just knew a tip was called in on that one. And then there's, this is where we're meeting here.
Yeah.
And we have a few more places that we're going to go.
Okay, so there's multiple searches.
There's another one that was never searced that should have been searched to begin with, and it never was.
Gotcha.
When the initial searching was went on the 5-mile radius. Come on, car, keep going. This is weird. So the 5-mile radius search, I searched. The 5-mile radius search, it was just a little bit out of that grid part, which I did see. It was shown to me earlier this morning. That was that's a big screw up.
Gotcha.
But they never searched it. There's a cave, I think.
A cave?
There's a cave in front of us. We were initially going to be down.
Thank you for the ride.
You're welcome. I hope you talk.
And now it's time for a game of Seth Says. Let's hear a little bit more about that tip that came in that alerted the Cajun Navy to go to that area.
I want to figure out, Brian Trasher, how you picked that particular area to search.
It was a combination of some information when we first got there that Seth provided, some areas that he had showed us that had already been searched and areas that he felt would be good to search. Other areas were just kind of triangulating from the last known location of the young man at his home, and trying to figure out some places he would have been easy for him to walk to, places that he frequented before. We knew that there were some places that he liked to visit, but from what his mother said, he didn't have a history of wandering off without telling anybody. So we wanted to make sure that we were searching every nook and cranny that we could to find this boy.
To focus on that one area. Joining me in the last moments, Brian Trasher joining us, VP of the United Cajun Navy. Brian, you and I have been talking a lot is happening. One, you called off the search one day just before the search started, and two, there's a lot of hate going on against the Cajun Navy. I don't get it. You're out there on your own time.
Right? At the end of the day, rather you think you're staying on the right side, or you think you're not, or you think you're better than, if your topic is that of Sebastian Rogers, then quite frankly, you are no different than anybody else who has the same topic, period. It doesn't matter what approach you approach it by, you're still using the same child, the same situation as content. Like this whole delirium of otherwise, it's just that, it's delirium. It's what you got to tell yourself to make yourself feel better about it. But at the end of the day, the content's the content. Doesn't matter if you think you're coming from a different approach. You're doing no different. It gets exhausting. Lots of ones popped up. I do know how you feel, Music City. I do. I didn't realize you were a local. And I do apologize again if I showed your picture or something. Somebody said I showed your photo. If I did, it wasn't on purpose. I don't think we should bring any attention to it. Camp thieves, because they will spike stuff from campsites. They're feisty, Rondi. I don't got time for those Blue Jays. You're no longer a fan? All right. Right. And the pushes, username is username. This is fact. Tragedy pimps and anti-tragedy pimps aren't one and the same now. Not all, but enough. Well, what it is, Boo Boo, and I've been saying this forever, it's a very thin line. And you may think you're walking on that very tight rope, but your foot goes over every now and then. There absolutely is absolute shambles. Being used by tragedy pimpers is all the same. That's what I'm saying, Kinsey. It's all the same.
Of people they're being associated with. First of all, I'm not a felon and have not been convicted of felons like Jonathan Lee Riches has been convicted of. He's a piece of shit that has coordinated himself with JS for Justice, another wide open cooter, right? She had an affair on her husband, divorced him, left her children, and then decided to marry another man and decided to go to sleep with Jonathan Lee Riches. while I was seeing him. So this woman has a hard-on for Bullhorn Betty because I called her out and got her in trouble with her husband. And of course, she lied to her husband like she lied to her prior husband. So there you have it. This is what J is for Justice said. Joe's out. Shamu is in. Change of programming for tonight. Watch party on J is for Justice Discord. You are a piece of shit, J is for Justice. And trust me, your numbers, I don't care how big you get, when I have enough done, when I'm done with you, you're not going to get 1,300 people viewing you. You are the biggest piece of shit on here that has manufactured so many news articles that it's not even funny. News articles. But let's talk about this, okay? And then listen to this. Now, we got J is for Justice. We have Barbecue Lady out there, which Barbecue Lady's going to get her own in due time. In due time. And I didn't send. Did I send the other one? Okay, you guys are going to have to wait because I got to send the other one to me. So now we're going to look at the one that was just sent from the mysterious disappearance, from the lead person in the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, that Ellie Mae disgusting piece of garbage that thinks she's hot stuff on. You know, this is what Joe Petito said. Do you know that these people reached out to him and told him that they were going to dox his personal information, his home address? They were going to cause problems with his foundation. They didn't tell them about us. They threatened this man. They threatened this man that if he came on to Seth Rogers' show, they were going to destroy Joe Petito and his foundation. That is what has been alleged here by Joe Petito himself. It's not talking about Seth. It's not talking about Tony. They literally threatened Joe Petito, Jonathan Lee Riches, and crew. His just disgusting crew of people. I told Jonathan if he stepped in this case anymore that I was going to sue him. And so now I am going to sue him. I have claims against him for a very long time. And this last little dig from him and his people, I am going to sue him in Pasco County where he lives. Not Tampa Bay, Pasco County in Port Richey. That's where the man lives. That's where I'm planning on suing him. And I'm going to be also including Miss Jamie Phillips in that lawsuit as well. So it's going to be, I'm over this nonsense. I'm over this thuggery on this platform. I'm over people trying to destroy an innocent man because they didn't get the attention that they wanted. This man worked very hard to make sure I have to sue people because I'm, you are irrelevant. That's why nobody listens to you. Go make your own channel. Let's see how many people listen to your hate-filled rhetoric. Probably hardly anybody. Probably hardly anybody. But I'm getting so sick of this thuggery on here. And so Jonathan Lee Riches, let me be very clear to you. I know who's behind all of this, and I'm coming for you, sir. You want to do all this dirty stuff to me? You tried to destroy me. You lied to me for over a year, and you think I'm going to sit here while you have your friends destroy everything that this man is trying to do. He was going to talk about the Gabby Petito Foundation. All you did was hurt Joe and his advocacy for his daughter in such a ruthless and disgusting manner, threatening him. We have a no tolerance policy here, and I don't have. Somebody get that asshole out. And actually, I'll do it. We have a no tolerance policy here. I want everybody that needs to be hidden. Thank you. We're not going to deal with this nonsense. J is for Justice. You need to keep your legs closed first and foremost. Secondly, you and your misfits need to stop harassing Seth. And as a matter of fact, he's already sent all these people cease and desist letters. I think it's time to start executing some lawsuits against these people that want to just cause him harm for no other purpose than to show that they have the ability to cause this man harm. It's disgusting. Joe Petito did not deserve to be treated like that. They didn't tell them about what kind of people they were working with. They threatened to harm him and his foundation in order to get him to not show up. Let's be very clear on what these people did to Joe Petito. I know for a fact, Barbecue Lady, which we are going to start exposing her nastiness, because she won't stop either. And she's obviously not going to stop until there's bracelets around her wrist, because from what I hear, she's already committed a few felonies in the process of doing this. So I hope whoever she committed those felonies against, I hope that they are taking legal action against her. I also found out that she was catering a party and making food while cats were crawling all over her countertop in a very unsanitary work environment. And she fed people that food. That is disgusting to me. That is absolutely, utterly disgusting to me. But you know what? In good fashion, the show is going to go on. I can tell you that there is going to be, it sounds like we're going to be going through some stuff that you guys haven't seen, such as Sebastian Rogers, gay at SeaWorld, you know, for this horrible father that hates his son, you know, that just deserves all of this nonsense from these idiots on YouTube. You know what, JS for Justice? I hope you get your laugh, but I also hope you get some divorce papers soon, because you're rightfully deserving. How many more men are you sleeping with behind your husband's back? I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, was Jonathan the only one? How many more were there? How many more were there, Jay? How many times did you smile in my face, young lady? I'm just curious. You are a disgusting human. I mean, just a hollow piece of shit of a woman. You have no care for your own children, let alone anybody else's. Why did you leave your children behind? Jay? Does the whole world know that when you left your children? Or is that just Betty must have this wrong, right? You left your kids for a man. And then you cheated on that man. And you want to come up here and have a laugh on Seth, a father that's missing his child, when you left yours? Keep going, boo-boo. Keep going. And you guys are happy that you hurt not only, like, you don't even care who you hurt anymore. You guys hurt Joe Petito. Where every single one of you assholes got your name. You guys make me sick. Absolutely, utterly sick. They were going to be talking about Gabby Petito's foundation tonight and all the great work that they were doing, but you guys have to ruin everything. 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 Why? Because it's not your fake bullshit that nobody's listening to, except Jonathan's bullshit, which is half right, half wrong. It depends on what day, what mood he wakes up on the side of the bed. What a lowlife. You guys have just turned yourself from actually being decent people into being no different than the hate channels that used to attack you. You turned into everything you used to hate. You guys are sick in the fucking skull. Sick in the skull. What the hell is wrong with you people? You always have to be up at everybody's shit. You're like, oh, it's not on my channel, so let's take it. This man's not even making money. His channel's not even monetized. But I guarantee you would make sure that everybody that came on your channel, I bet you get that click, I bet you get that view, I bet you get that money, don't you, boo? All of you. And Seth doesn't even have a monetized channel, and you guys are still, does he have the requirements to be monetized? Of course he does. Of course he does. But you know what? If we're going to continue to allow the swamp, the slimy swamp of these social medias to actually dictate, and here's what Ellie Mae says. Joe Petito deserves to know what type of people he's aligning himself with in his foundation. Let him know. Ellie Mae, let him know. You mean threaten him? You mean call him nonstop? She's on TikTok, Karen. Barbecue Lady's on TikTok. She lives in Pennsylvania, where they're not allowed to record conversations. Just saying. And she likes to record a whole mess of conversations now, doesn't she? If I have to think about it, I think she's probably got about, I don't know, about 5, 6, maybe 7 felony charges that could be potentially wielded against her for that. How many other people have that lady recorded when she's unlawfully able to do so? People on this platform don't mind committing crimes. We're trying to stop criminal activity. We're trying to expose criminal activity, but usually our victims are either missing or deceased. But they think this is a game. They think, oh, ha, 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 like a missing boy, a 15-year-old missing boy. Never mind what Gabby Petito had to go through in her short little life. And they are making a mockery of both. A mockery of both. And you know what? Who's it helping? Oh, I bet you it's helping their little bellies. Oh, look what we were able to do. We were able to destroy a man, almost destroy a foundation. Hyenas. Hyenas. Absolute hyenas. And for them to do this to a man that's just trying to advocate for children, that's trying to use that advocation not only to help others but to find his own son, is despicable and deplorable. It's not admirable. It's not admirable. And I told you J.R. Lahr would do this. And he hasn't been talking because he's a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. He's a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. That's why he has so much power, is because he's so secret about everything. That stupid bee, Magnolia, has no clue who she's messing with, and he's going to all kinds of screw up that girl's head, but she's probably just as screwed up as him from what I hear. She has mommy and daddy issues. Like her mommy and daddy didn't love her enough and kicked her to the curb, and somebody had to adopt her. Okay? I get that she had a rough life and stuff like that, but to be a piece of garbage and try to stand behind God, God doesn't do stuff like this. You know who does stuff like this? Evil. That's what does stuff like this, not God. If you think, look at Jonathan, since he's been with all black all the time, occasionally he'll throw out his little crucifix so he looks like he's a Christian man. That man is the furthest thing from Christian. That man is the devil himself. And you guys are too blind to see it. He will manufacture information for a click and a view. He has done it. I did not know he was doing it until I saw it for myself. And you'll find it funny. Oh, look at this anonymous poster. Oh, look at Mary Smith. Look what Mary Smith posted. Those were all JLR's postings. All of them. He posted them under his troll accounts or anonymous people on these things where he has all of his friends as admins. And then he's able to quickly go over there and have commentary on this nonsense. And every bit of other work he does, what makes him a web sleuth, is everybody else's work. Do you think he could function without Magnolia? Of course not. She does all this work. Just like Olivia and I did all this work before. He sucks. He uses people for content. And she's just too desperate and too stupid to realize she's being played like a fiddle. But this was disgusting. This was a low blow. An absolute low blow to two people that were two dads that were going through a lot of similar things, and for them to literally attack Joe Petito. They didn't go there to tell about us. They literally threatened to destroy his foundation and to dox him. That's what was threatened against Joe Petito. And I just want to make sure that everybody is fully aware of what actually transpired. So all these people that are laughing and saying, oh, we're so happy, look what we did. I just want you to know what they really did. What they truly did. They didn't tell him about us. They told him about him. And if he didn't comply, what they were going to do to him in large numbers. That was the leverage that they put over Joe Petito. And if it's my understanding that he will be addressing it as well. But I just thought that was pretty disgusting. A poor display of the pieces of shit of YouTube and TikTok at full force. And the dirty crap that they do to innocent people for no other reason than to destroy. Destroy. It's sad. And if you guys want to continue to support him, then I'm going to ask you, don't support me. Because I can't take any more of this nonsense on here. You guys can leave in the droves from this channel if that's what you guys stand for. If everybody here stands for that kind of nonsense on this platform, please unsubscribe from me because I am over it. I am over the abuse of innocent people for no other good purpose than to destroy an innocent person. It's sad. There's no place on it here in the true crime. These are junkyard junkies, okay? And they need to go back to the fucking junkyard. All of them. They're no good. Tell me what Jay is for Justice has ever gotten right outside of stealing other people's work. Please. I mean, prove me wrong. All she's ever done is bring in things that have been debunked after debunked after debunked after debunked. Nothing she says on her channel ever maps out. Yet she has over 100,000 people going to her channel listening to her horseshit. What has she gotten right? I'll wait. Please send it to me. Please send it to me. She hasn't. Jonathan Lee Riches. Let's talk about him outside of him working with me and Olivia. What else has he ever gotten right? He's got nothing right. Nothing. Even when he was out there chasing Danilo Cavalcanti, he was more of a hindrance than he was a help. How did he help? He was reporting, but he was trying to imply he was actually helping, and he was not. He was not. All these people over and over again constantly do wrong. They consistently do wrong. They do it for the wrong reasons. And now that the light has been shined on it, I'm no longer part of the pack, right? I have no problem throwing them under the bus when they do wrong. They had a wool over my eyes for a very long time. But again, divine intervention. My car got broke down for 3 months. And I was able to take the blinders off and see very clearly as to what was going on because I finally had the time I needed to look into everything. And what I found was absolutely appalling, disgusting, and quite frankly, it made my stomach turn. It made my stomach turn that they were willing to do all of this. Send out bunk information, manufacture videos that show Tony playing with himself. Like, come on. It was all to destroy him. Because when they passed around the background check and that didn't do the job, right? Sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? Almost like the attacks on Trump. Are they using the Democrat playbook here against Seth? Are all these people that used to scream MAGA truly lie to us? Because I don't know any respectable person that acts like this. Just saying. Just saying. So JS for Justice, are you getting your laugh now? How much damage control are you going to do with your husband now? How many other men were there? I mean, we know about Jonathan. So how many more that you want to lie to him about? I bet you I have the number, don't I? The things I know. The things I know. The things I know about a lot of people. It's my job. I don't use it until I need to. It's called leverage, right? It's one thing that I do very, very, very well. When I learn things, I keep them in my back pocket until they're needed. If they're not needed, they stay in my back pocket. Just saying. It's kind of how it rolls over here. People know that I'm a no-nonsense type of person. And when I deal with all of this stuff that I'm dealing with, I feel like there's these people, and they're always the people that have the largest numbers. They all have to feed off of one another. I stand alone. I don't stand with a pack. I'm not going to stand with a pack except the coffee club. That's the only pack I care about, right? Because we're all here for the same reason, and that's to find answers. That's to advocate. That's to do what we can do to make sure that these people that we cover go out far and wide. Everybody says I only talk about cases that are big cases because we make them big cases. That's what people fail to tell you. Sebastian Rogers was not a big case. Sebastian Rogers was not even being seen by hardly anybody. It was social media that brought him to the forefront. Me being part of it. Okay? Jennifer Santinello had no help. She was begging for help. Begging. Nobody was taking her daughter's case seriously. Olivia and I stepped in. She went viral. Her mother has been able to now have her own platform where she can advocate not only for her daughter, but for other children. So why is Seth not afforded the same opportunities and rights as every other parent that uses these platforms for coping mechanisms? When they can't help their own child, they try to help somebody else. What is so wrong with that? These hyenas on here will not let this man breathe for whatever reason because he hurt their feelings. Well, let me hurt your feelings a little more. You're a freaking whore. And you can't keep your legs closed. And maybe if you just tried for 1 minute, you wouldn't be such a piece of shit that you are, JS for Justice. And that goes for Barbecue Lady as well, with all her kids and different daddies. JLR is just a disgusting individual that now looks like the freaking devil in his all black outfits with occasionally him bringing that crucifix. He can't touch his heart because it might burn it. So he's got to keep it on the outside of his clothes so it doesn't touch his skin. I've had it with the bullying on here. I've had it with the bullying of innocent parents on here. And until the audience starts saying enough's enough and unsubbing from these assholes that do nothing but destroy families, I'm over it. Unsub from me. Unsub from me. If you can't unsub from the problems on this platform, then you don't deserve the good parts on this platform. So please, by all means, everybody can go right out there. It's very simple.
And I'm sorry that you're disappointed that I'm sticking up for myself. Oh, we've got someone coming in telling me what to do. Steffers, I really used to like you until you got into all this drama. I would have just ignored it and kept my composure. Well, A, I've never seen your name ever. And I'm sorry that you're disappointed that I'm sticking up for myself. But, we grow and we evolve and we handle things the way that we want to handle them. And Steffers, I'm not here to live up to your expectations. I'm here to live up to mine. So as long as I feel good about what I'm doing, you shouldn't be concerned with it. I don't even know who you are anyways. She could snap one day. Absolutely. Absolutely. No eyes. So how about Steffers? When you're in my shoes, then you can judge. How about that? Because I don't even know you like that. And I don't consider being threatened drama. I don't consider taking a 15-year-old missing boy's name and turning it into a clown show drama. I consider this awareness. And for some reason, you don't want me to make people aware. Why? What's up, heathen? She's lucky that Mr. Bowersox had so much patience. Yeah, you get gaslit when you stick up for yourself. It's funny. Hey, Sarah, Sarah. I love you too, Sarah, Sarah. All right, let's continue the dirty underwear.
What happened exactly? I saw a poll last night about you, something about suing. I was confused. I have no idea. They're making content up, and it sounds like somebody sent screenshots. I don't know if they're fake or not, because it's not just about getting screenshots. It's actually a legal process. And it sounds like either somebody fabricated screenshots or somebody lied under oath. I can't figure out which one it is yet, but we'll get to the bottom of it sooner or later. But again, it's 4 clicks and views. I don't even know who would even have anything. I mean, I've never threatened anybody before in my life. I haven't harassed one person since I've been here. You know, so I don't know what the big deal is. But the funny thing is, well, the funny thing is that I probably even hit it and quit it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what they're talking about. All I know is my home address is in Florida, and I would suggest them serve me right there, if true. Yeah, I'm back. It's nice to see everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, I'm just, I stopped for a little break, get some food in my belly, and keep moving. Yeah, I know it's Don's birthday. It's Don's birthday. My grandmother and siblings grew up in Utica. Where's Utica? I don't know where Utica is. There is a solar flare still happening, so it's interrupting electronics. Well, I wonder if that's why I've been having so much internet trouble. You know? We've been in and out at my mom's. It's been awful. So, I don't know. I got hungry. I'm eating. But people say they don't like me stuffing my face while I'm on live. So if you don't like it, now's a great time to scroll on by. That's all I'm saying. It's not, what does it say? It's not nice. They seem to be going after the YouTubers that are looking for Sebastian. Well, we don't even know who, I don't know who did it. If it's, like I said, people make up, like, fabricate documents all the time, so I don't know if that's the case. So you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. I mean, I really don't think somebody is stupid enough to perjure themselves under oath in a court setting. I mean, that's, like, stupid. Like, really, really stupid. So I'm curious about that. Not only that, but I'm not even going to be probably back there until August 26th when the event is happening. So how are they, like, literally, they're idiots. Like, absolutely idiots. I'm surprised people believe that. And if they did do that, they should be condemning them for utilizing a court improperly, because the only way they would be able to do that is to lie under oath or present fabricated material. Like, that's literally it. Puppy's doing well, sleeping a lot, but she's been teething. You need to check it out because they are saying they have to. You can't just say you have to be in court. You have to be served. It's a legal process. It's literally a legal process. They have to serve me with the papers. If it's true, like, they should know that. How are they going to explain to a judge that I'm doing something in Tennessee when I'm in Florida? And they have to serve me in Florida and force me into Tennessee. Like, they have to, in order for them to serve me here in Florida, a foreign subpoena, like, they would have to open a case here in Florida and have it in... You guys even know I'm here? I'm already gone. That's how we roll here on the Bullhorn Betty Show. God bless. Here he's allegedly camping at. So here you see, there's the Yogi Bear campground. And I'm on foot right now. I parked at a local store, which I'm a patron of. Upon easements, there's no sidewalks here, so all you can do, well, there's a sidewalk over there, which I'll probably cross the road and walk on the legitimate sidewalk. But there you go. The problem is where he was stationed before. He has a Montana, and I don't see the Montana here. I thought I saw him creeping and parking next to a cabin, which is right here. See the white truck? But I can't tell if that's his or not. There's the Montana, so it is his. So there's the Montana, and it looks like there's Chris's truck hidden away right there, out of the eyesight of people. Now I'm here, as you can see, he's still there. That is his. Well, he has a GMC. I thought he had a Chevrolet, so maybe that isn't his. I see that it's that one that's parked there is a GMC. And there's Chris's Montana. So we need to find out if he's parking another vehicle, if he's parking someplace else. But I was here last night and he was not at his camper. And it doesn't appear like anybody is at his camper. And it stays that way for quite some time. So there's the cabins and everything like that. And we have new home sites over here. So we do have a lot of different information going on. But here you go. This is the campground right here.
And there's Chris's RV. And I thought Chris was parking someplace else, but as you can see, so unless he's borrowing somebody else's car, he's staying here. So what do you think about this new information? As you can see right behind me is the Yogi Bear campground. I have been here through the week. He hasn't been coming to his camper. I believe they're renting this spot here as a decoy. I don't believe he works at St. Jude's anymore. He hasn't moved. He hasn't come home. He hasn't left. He hasn't. So nobody's here. And I guarantee when I go by their house later today, they will be there. I don't think Chris is staying here. I don't know why he's keeping his camper here. It makes me wonder because, you know, they can get a search warrant for his camper even if it's in Mississippi. And I'm wondering if he's keeping it here to make it more difficult for a search warrant potentially. We're hearing that there were forensics done. I'm going to find that out. I'm not leaving the state of Tennessee without knowing for sure. But I'm here, folks. And I'm sorry for deceiving you, but I'm sure you understand exactly why I had to. I would not be able to get my work done with people constantly interfering with my business. This is what we do. We continue to do it over and over again. We fight for these victims, we fight for these cases, and more importantly, we fight for their families when they're being unnecessarily attacked, which is what's happened to Seth. And of course, naturally, I probably wouldn't have worked as hard on this case if it wasn't for bad actors attacking a disabled, innocent man that has a disabled son missing. And most likely at the hands of the boy's mother and stepfather, something bad may have happened to him. And for people to be attacking him is disgusting. I'll never understand it, but we do believe that there is true evil in this world, and I believe part of that evil is right here on YouTube. This is Bullhorn Betty, and I'm in front of the Yogi Bear campground. I have been walking, I have been researching, and more importantly today, I'm going to be asking a lot of questions to a lot of people in this area, including businesses that have supplies, right? Shovels, axes, chainsaws, anything and everything. I'm going to be talking to local store workers and see if they have any information that might lead to the whereabouts of Chris on February 25th and February 26th. We are in Mississippi, folks. We are in Mississippi. If anybody hasn't figured it out, my ending, Saturday, is going to be Georgia. So by the time you guys even know I'm here, I'm already gone. That's how we roll here on the Bullhorn Betty Show. God bless. Hey, this is Bullhorn Betty. So I'm in Horn Lake. I came here. This place is closed. I'm going to have to come back here. But I did want to cut through here to show you that right here is the Citgo, and over here is the BP and the Citgo. I have went to both of those places. The morning crew has never seen Chris or Katie ever. So nobody, they worked there for a while.
South for US Highway 51 North.
Closing, so I'm going to be looking at that. I need to find gas stations that are open in the early morning. It sounds like these gas stations here close around midnight. So they're not the gas stations I'm really looking for at the moment, but I am under full investigation to try to find which direction Chris Proudfoot went, where he's accustomed to going to. I'm looking for specific answers so I can follow his tracks. Right now, after he leaves home and goes to Yogi, his tracks go cold. We can't find him. Why? That's my major question. Why can we not find Christopher Proudfoot? Why can we not find his movements on the 25th into the 26th and when he came back here? When he came back here to pick up his camper? And why is his camper still here when he's not staying here? What is the purpose of leaving the camper here if he's not returning to work? Those are my questions. I hope we can find solutions and answers. So I'm making my rounds. I just came here. I didn't have anybody that saw Chris here at all. But I talked to somebody at the customer service desk and let them know to please check their footage from February 26th to March 1st to see if there was any possibility of Chris coming in here. And I told them I didn't need to see the footage, but if they did see Chris on the footage, to call TBI or the FBI immediately. So we're doing our part around here in Horn Lake, Mississippi, bringing awareness to Sebastian Rogers. We're not going to quit until we find out where Chris was. As you see, I'm here at Home Depot. We just left Lowe's, but while I was walking out, when I talked to some of the people, look what was in the parking lot of the Home Depot. A Texas Roadhouse. A Texas Roadhouse is right back here. And we're still looking for Sebastian Rogers, but I just thought it was pretty interesting. Nobody has seen Chris. It's awfully funny. He's been around here for months. And none of the local gas stations have seen him. His local hardware stores haven't seen him. So I'm getting out on literally everything today so far. So I'm going to keep working. He had to have gone somewhere. He didn't just stay in his camper. He had to eat, right? So I'll be hitting some evening places, Applebee's. The travel with my gun. How long it takes to manually dig something deep enough. And it could take, you know, many hours. Someone said you were bringing, I've never said, actually, as a matter of fact, I've made it very clear, I don't travel with my gun. I've said that from day one. Who's saying that? That is a flat out lie. And not only that, I'm licensed to carry a concealed weapon. I'm allowed to, by law. And not only that, but every single state I go to is open carry. It doesn't matter. I can bring it anywhere. I can say I'm bringing it anywhere. There's not a damn thing anybody can do about it. I lawfully possess my firearm and went through proper training to do so. And I am bringing a machete. And just because I'm bringing these things, I've never threatened anybody with them. I bring the machete because I'm going to be out in the woods. I can bring whatever the hell I want to. The bottom line is there has to be an intent of bodily injury. I don't bring my gun, and I've explained it. My gun is too old, and it's too heavy. It's not conducive for carrying it on my person. I need a 380 or a short nose like 9mm. But this idea that somehow I'm a criminal because I carry it, I'm lawfully allowed to. I literally went through extra training than the normal person to get my concealed weapons license. And I don't know if you haven't realized this, but in America, we're allowed to defend ourselves with bodily harm if somebody threatens us with bodily harm. If somebody comes up to me and makes me fear in jeopardy, I am to give them a warning. And after that, I mean, I'm not even required to give them a warning if it's an imminent threat. You know? So this whole thing that people are so offended by guns, like it literally in the state of Tennessee where it's open carry here. Everybody has one. Who would say they heard a thud and think, over here on YouTube with these hate channels and these nobodies, they can keep talking smack and everything like that. But at the end of the day, we do have a way to tap into nationwide publications to get our messaging out. Why? Because I'm Bullhorn Betty. And that's something everybody's going to have to understand. Okay, I'm out there. I work with these people. For example, Daily Mail. Do you understand that I've traveled? He's been just about, their photographer has been just about every single high-profile case with me, including Gabby Petito. I know them very well. I know Brian Enton. I know Court TV. I know a lot of people. Nancy Grace. I've met her before. I've met Brian Enton. I was out there in front of Gabby Petito's house for 5 weeks with Brian Enton. He's a very nice guy. I actually saw his videographer with another guy at a Trump rally. I think it was the Virginia Trump rally. And we sat there and said hi to each other. So it's like, these people are idiots that think that everybody, that just because they say something that it makes it true here on the streets of YouTube, because let's face it, they have a small cesspool of crap people, of 7,500 crap people on this platform of billions of people. So, at the end of the day, they're speaking to their echo chamber. We're reaching out a lot broader than our echo chamber here on YouTube. I have large platforms. I've got almost 8,000 people on Twitter. I've got, between the two channels, I don't know, 150,000 plus on TikTok. We have, on this channel alone, we have over, between the two channels, 40-something thousand followers on this platform alone. I mean, you're talking about two people that can't produce their son and want us to believe the horse crap coming out of their mouth as true. And maybe some people do believe it, but I can tell you law enforcement, from all the law enforcement I've talked to and had review this case, surely do look one way. And even the law enforcement people here on the streets of YouTube have a problem with everything that's being said from Katie and Chris. So this idea that it's just me, or it's just my opinion, or I have some way of dictating all these other channels that have hundreds and thousands of subscribers, that somehow I'm influencing that, is ridiculous. People are interested in this case. What people do on their own time and by themselves is their own business. And if they send it to me, I'm going to use it. If they email it to me, I'm going to use it. If they post it on social media, guess what? I'm going to use it. I am looking for any information to locate the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers, and the only way we're going to find that is to know where Katie and Chris were, because at the end of the day, out of their own mouth, their child was sheltered. Their child had some issues and some tics about him that would make him completely, utterly melt down if he didn't have his shoes on, if he had bugs, if he had dirt. He's got sensory issues. So I don't want to hear this horse crap of, I'll agree that they may be cooperative. Okay, and what? What now? So they're cooperative. Just because they're cooperative doesn't mean they're being truthful. Because we definitely know they lied about me. They literally lied under oath saying I was an imminent threat to their bodily injury and harm. Imminent threat. I live in Florida, thousands of miles away from them, and somehow I'm an imminent threat of bodily injury to them. And people are like, well, Betty may have a civil suit, but she'll have to prove damages. No, I do not. You just accuse me of criminal activity. That is defamation per se. That means the damages is on its face. I don't have to prove a gosh darn thing. Not a thing. It is provable on its face, and I have every bit of evidence to substantiate that I did not harass them. So they can't say the same thing. I literally got 3 different clips of Chris threatening me. But you notice Chris is not on any of these accusations. Kind of funny like that. And so it dawned on me that it's because of his court hearing or his custody battle with Nina. That's what I truly believe. But hey, they've already established that their house and her grandmother's house, the Bowersock's house, is not a safe place for Faith to be. And I think the courts need to consider that. I mean, you got a lot of crazy YouTubers that are, potentially going to hurt them. So I don't know if it's the safest place for, Faith, just by their own court documents. I mean, I don't know. Just saying. Didn't Chris threaten to run? Yeah, he threatened to run me over with his truck. There you go. VA. I love it. I know constitutional lawyer. Yeah, well, you might have to pass me their information. Heck yeah, the DA is involved because these are parents of a missing child with disability under suspicious circumstances. Yeah, and not only that, but everybody's like, oh, I hope they do watch her. Like, people are so ignorant. Like, they honestly believe that if I drive on a road that I'm breaking the law. If I drive past their house, I'm breaking the law. People are really that ignorant to actually think that I'm not allowed to use public roadway. We pay for it. They can't kick me off a public roadway, okay? I don't know where you guys got your law background or your knowledge from, but they can't do that, okay? I have never talked to these people. The only person I talked to was Terry, and that was after he stopped me for 30 minutes and decided to try to intimidate me in person while I was on live, just speaking about his son-in-law, or his stepson, threatening me. And they threatened me the entire time I was here, them and their clan of misfits, which, they asked for help, right? They asked all of us to please post flyers. I literally have, I don't know, 5 different interviews where they said, please post flyers and keep his name out there. And so that's exactly what I did. I posted flyers and I've been keeping his name out there. I've been following their instructions to a T. And so it doesn't sound like they really have but they're fearful. It sounds like they're trying to shut me up. They're trying to shut me up. They're trying to intimidate me through legal stuff. But at the end of the day, I've read the law. The law is crystal clear. They have to prove that they have a need. They have to show just cause, and they won't be able to do that. All they have is their words. They have no evidence whatsoever to support that. And not only that, even if they try to clip stuff, the judge is going to require them to produce the entire video so they can review the entire video and the context of that entire video. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not really too concerned about it. We'll see how the judge rules on the 8th. I'm pretty sure it's going to be tossed out immediately because they're not going to be able to meet their threshold to keep an order of protection on them. So once the judge rules on that, we'll see how, what goes from there. But absolutely, this was strategic. And I just find it awfully funny that every time I got to go, and this is like every single court hearing I've had with QB seems to have some nonsense from her people, right? Because she's associated with Illuminati, she's associated with the Proudfoots. So she's so she knows about all this. She knows about all this, and she was willingly sitting by waiting for it to all happen. And that's just a shame. That's just a shame. She can't beat me legally, so she wants to go underhanded. And it's a group of people. And now JLR has, and JS for Justice has joined their camp. So this is what happens when you piss QB off as well as JLR. This is exactly what happens. But at the end of the day, I'm smarter than both of them. Respectfully. They're both dumb as a box of rocks. So this is the situation. And at the end of the day, Sebastian deserves a voice, and so does Seth. And those are the two voices that have been drowned out by Chris and Katie's BS. No, I'm not. I haven't been served, so they have to serve you. There's a legal process, and this is what people don't understand. There is a legal process, and I am required to be served. And in Florida, and any other service process has to be personally. I don't know who's saying, oh, we emailed. First of all, I never received an email, and secondly, that does not satisfy service of process. So whatever idiot's telling you that is full of crap. Full of crap. So I'll wait to be served. Hopefully they can serve me before the 8th. I doubt that to be the case, because it sounds like we'll be rolling in, The sheriff here in my county, whom his family said you can still be served in Tennessee because it was taken out in Tennessee court rather than serve you in Tennessee because of the fee it goes with the transfer. The sheriff here in my county, whom his family said you can still be served if in Tennessee. If in Tennessee. They were trying to say that you only had to acknowledge it on YouTube. Well, yeah, go. You have to be able to see what it is, see everything. That's the whole require. If anybody just needed knowledge of that, who would pay for the service of process? You see, they would just mail you a copy. People don't use their noggin. It's required to be served unless I waive service, which I'm not going to do. And I don't allow anybody to accept service of process of legal documents on my behalf other than me, right? There's only one person that lives in that house, and that house is mine. So please don't stop looking at. No, we're not. As a matter of fact, this is me pushing back. I'm not going to stop. As a matter of fact, these are public roadways. We have a right to demonstrate. We have a right to assemble. We have a right. This is all provided to us under the Constitution of this great country. Prevention of that is violating somebody's constitutional rights, their supreme rights of the land. You're not talking about a law that can be interpreted one way or another. You're talking about constitutional privileges and rights to individuals living in this country and that are here. And at the end of the day, they have no way of possibly stifling my constitutional rights. My constitutional rights are supreme. No, I don't. Once again, they underestimated what they were doing. Katie doesn't want any attention on her, right? She wants the attention to go away. That's why they thought that this strategy would work, but it didn't. It blew up in their face. Not only did I not get served, I'm not going to be there. She's going to have to face the judge by herself, and she's got all of this notoriety behind it. If it's her. We believe it's her. People are saying it's her, but I won't know until I get my documentation. Again, on their records, on their side of the court records, the last time I checked, it only showed my name, and it showed that the person's name blocked out. It wouldn't say it. So until I get served, I don't even know who my accuser is. We can assume the accuser is this. We can assume the accuser is that. But until I get my paperwork, I won't know for sure. That's why it's so important to be served. So with that being said, she's going to end up having to go in there, if it is her or somebody else, if it's like Illuminati or her husband or whatever it may be, they're going to have to go in there and show their need for this protective order. They're going to have to show me threatening their life. They're going to have to come up to that high of a degree that I'm threatening their life in order to maintain that protective order. We all know I've never threatened their life. Hell, I haven't even held a conversation with them. But that is the threshold. That is the threshold. And I am not a threat to their life. As a matter of fact, she said, according to, I think, one news article, that it states that I have to stay 100 feet. I've never been within 100 feet of this lady. So again, the need is not there. You see what I'm saying? So she has a huge threshold that she must meet, or whomever filed this, a huge threshold, because they were able to file it. This ex parte order was automatic to them. All you have to do is write that you're in fear for your life, and that's all that's required on the ex parte. That's why they make you come back in 15 days to prove that you need it, because that is your court hearing. That is when you go to the court and say, hey, here's all the stuff. She stalked me. She's beat on my door. She's done this. She's done that. They've got none of that. They cannot prove I'm a threat to this lady's life, because I'm not. And so that's the huge bar she has to meet in this case. So you see why it's not a huge concern, and why I don't mind getting served is because she's got this huge bar that she must meet. Even if I did get served and chose not to go, guess what? she's not automatically given that. If you read the law, it's very specific. She still has to plead her case. So even if I had gotten served, even if I wasn't out of the state of Florida by the time that they served me, it doesn't matter. Even if I chose not to go, she would still have the burden of proof on her. How long have it been since the file of the paper? I don't know. On my end, it showed. Again, I looked at it. You can't read who it's from, and I believe it said July 26th. And I left the house that following Monday night because Delilah was attacked at like 5:51, and I think I left my house after dealing with the cops and everything like that, and getting the car loaded. I think I was out of the house by like 9:30 Monday night. So I really don't know. All I know is I was out of state literally Tuesday morning. I was in Mississippi by Tuesday afternoon. You see what I'm saying? And my first stop by the Community Mayor campground was Tuesday evening, and then I went back first thing Wednesday morning before I even knew of this and did all the recordings out in front of there. Right. And then I was learning about it Wednesday. So then I just started be careful what I did because I didn't know what was going on. You know, I'm out of state. I'm hearing all this stuff. And of course, naturally, I'm like, there's no way there's a protective order against me. I've never threatened anybody. You know, I'm like, somebody's pulling your chain. Somebody's lying. But I didn't think somebody would I should have known that somebody that, you know, most likely did something terrible to their child wouldn't mind breaking the law to try to silence somebody that's looking into it. They are not going to be able to silence me. Tennessee's not going to be able to silence me. You know, it's my constitutional right. They're not Gestapo. OK, we don't live in a third world country. They're not dictators. OK, so at the end of the day, they've got to prove their case. And they have nothing to prove their case with. A few statements is not going to rise to the level that they need. Okay? I have to be a threat to their life. And maybe some of the stuff I'm doing is a threat to their life because they can't find their child. And we are looking into the case in an investigative reporting aspect of it and a journalistic aspect of it, as well as trying to help search for this boy, for his father. So we have the support of Seth Rogers. That is a biological father to this boy. I have followed every single law. I've recorded every time I've ever been in their community is literally recorded. So there's no misunderstandings of what I did. It's all on recording. It's all on a live. And I can tell you that what I did not threaten anybody's life. And that's the huge bar that they have to meet. So with that being said, there's no justification for what they did other than them lying and trying to hinder my constitutional rights. And again, that's damaging to me. That's damaging to my business. That is not being able, now I'm going to have to make a second trip out there to get my work done because of their hindrance in my business, which costs me money. That is damages. If I have to hire an attorney, which I would for them because they've got assets. You know, Queen Bee, she's ghetto, right? She's ghetto trash. So it's for them. They've got a massive amount of assets. They've got a home. They've got $70,000. I mean, come on. These people are not very smart people. And the best part about it is I don't even have to file a suit right away against them. I can build my case before I ever even send out a complaint. I agree you didn't harm anyone. And not only that, but I went out of my way on my trip there to stay out of the Bowerstocks way, to stay out of the Bradfords way, to stay out of their neighbor's way. I literally bothered nobody. Every person that I spoke to there was already scheduled for me to speak to before I ever got there. I did all of my work in silence. I did not speak to anybody until I got to Memphis, Tennessee at his job site. And it's because the people were talkative. You know, people are talkative and they're outside and they're having conversations and they want to talk to me. I'm welcoming of that. You know? I'm sorry that that's such a threat to them. I'm sorry my commentary is such a threat to them. And if that's the case where my commentary is such a threat to them, I mean, I got a solution to that. Just don't watch. Don't forget, y'all. Oh, that reminds me. Misty's in here. If you guys wouldn't mind, Misty's mom has been going through a lot of medical stuff. And they're having some medical bills piling up. Misty's obviously part of the Bullhorn Betty family. And so we try to support our family if they're going through, you know, how we roll on here. It's a $1 Will Do campaign. If you have something, obviously don't give something you don't have. But if you have something and you would like to help out, please, there it is. I'll post this at the top for you. You know, her mom they just need a little bit of help getting through this tough time and this unexpected illness that hospitalized Misty's mom. And, you know, it sounds like is your mom doing better? I mean, I'm hoping that she's doing better. Misty's mom has $1,717 that's due by the 15th, or she's going to lose her home. So we're just all kind of pitching in together and just doing our part, you know, that we take care of our own on here. And we just want to help out however we can. So if you guys do have an extra buck or two, please don't forget to, you know, obviously support this good cause. Betty, please show up. I'm not showing up. They have, nerdy girl, you should know the law better than anybody. They have to serve me. I have not been served. This is a requirement for them, okay? And not only that, when I am served, I can have a hearing within 5 days of proper service. So at the end of the day, they have to show just cause for an extension of this protective order. They have to show that I am a threat to their life. There's no possibility, and they have not properly served me. So at the end of the day, she's got to go in there and argue her case before that judge by herself with all those people looking at her. And you know what? That's her just desserts. She shouldn't have done underhanded, dirty shit. And I've read the law. I've looked at it. I'll be consulting with an attorney later today to make sure that that's accurate and correct, but they have got to serve me. I am not waiving service of process. I did nothing wrong, and I'm not going to be part of their criminal enterprise. And I'm not going to be a victim of it, nor is my channel. They can explain it to the judge, and when the judge rules on it and I get served, then I'll go in there and argue it. But they're not going to control me. They're not going to control my schedule with this nonsense, this illegal stuff. They don't mind committing Class A misdemeanors. They don't mind lying under oath. I am not worried about them, okay? I believe in the justice system enough to know that the judge's hands will be tied, okay? Even if that judge was the most corrupt judge in the world, she has a heavy burden to bear before that judge. Heavy burden. And she will not be able to meet that threshold. Period. Period. And it's so crystal clear on its face that I believe in the justice system. And I believe, no matter how many people talk about how corrupt this county is, they haven't been corrupt to me. They haven't been corrupt to me. So until they're corrupt to me, I won't believe it. Because I've dealt with already Sumner County Sheriff already. And not only was he very courteous and kind, he explained a lot to me. And he also was the one that advised me that if I'm going to be in Tennessee, it's open carry. And I explained I have my concealed weapons permit, that I just don't carry my gun. It's too heavy. And I don't want to, it's just too much weight. And that's the truth. And that's what I tell everybody. And over the bullshit. I'm over the lies. I'm over the fakeness of all of this. I'm over the clickbait of all these hate channels that don't know what they're talking about. This would be, from my understanding, the way the attorney explained it to me, this will be continued until I am properly served. So it will continue and continue and continue. It has nothing to do with any other thing than the fact that they have not properly served me. And it's not that, again, you guys seen where I was when I found out. You guys know where I was. So all these people are lying to their audience that has done absolutely nothing wrong. And whatever needs to be socks is, in my opinion, toxic. And I think it's going to be causing problems in this case, because I don't believe it's going to be quite a pretty penny right now to get this stuff to go away and get, whatever needs to be done in the court record to fight this. So obviously this channel, has suffered a lot because of the shenanigans that Queen Bee, Illuminati, and all of their hateful gang keep doing to try to get me in trouble and try to get me arrested for doing absolutely nothing wrong. And yes, they are all connected to each other. Even JLR, I told you guys that a long time ago and nobody wanted to believe me. Well, now you're starting to see them all come together and proving what I was saying literally at the beginning of this case. Up until the attacks on Seth, which is, again, an innocent father that has done absolutely nothing wrong and had absolutely nothing to do with his. If you guys can, I just want to let you know that Super Stickers, 30% is taken by YouTube. So if you guys would like to support the cause, I really do recommend the Cash App, the, actually I think it's more like 55%, but I don't know. Cash App, Venmo. Oh, thank you, Rhonda. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. So long story short is we are prepared for this. Because they start harassing them and intimidating them. So they can harass and intimidate people, but they can't go find their son. And Nick Barris wants me to believe that they're not suspects in the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. Well, only an idiot thinks that. I'm not going to say much about Nick Barris, but only an idiot thinks that. Just an idiot. Just an idiot with no common sense. Just an idiot with no common sense. He doesn't want to lay blame, but he surely doesn't want to do investigative journalism either. He just wants to be the word salad man. More like the toss your salad man. Just saying. Just saying. You guys know, even when I try to give credit where credit's due in some of these cases where I have to deal with mainstream media, and I love mainstream media, the people that actually get out there and do their job, and do their job well, right? That don't mind stepping on toes, that don't mind doing investigative reporting. That means investigate the investigators. But Nick Barris, he's too busy with his tail between his legs. Too busy with his tail between his legs. And he can say I'm an armchair detective all day long. I can promise you I'm not. I've traveled all over this country. I'm not even going to sit here and go through my credentialing when it comes to this. Never mind the legal aspect of it. The fact that I've ran investigations for law firms. We won't go through any of that. Okay? And I just want to know what his expertise on criminal investigations are in Sumner County, or if he has any worldly experience, any other type of, idea of how good policing is done. Because I've seen good policing and I've seen bad policing. And quite frankly, Eric Craddock in my book gets a D. I'm not giving him an F, but he gets a D. He gets a D. Okay? He basically told his whole community to go F off. Leave him alone. An elected official. And I'm appalled and ashamed of why I distanced myself from a creator on YouTube because of the salacious things that they have with not one scintilla of receipts. One was being that there was a poker game. Keeps running their mouth that there was a poker game. Not one receipt has been produced for that said poker game. Not one. Just this creator's mouth. And now we're hearing that Seth disappeared for 2 hours on the 26th between 3 and 5. That is a lie. That is absolutely a lie. That is not supported by any fact. And I'm so glad I distanced myself from this particular creator because they are in it for the clicks and the views, even though they try to say that it's all about Sebastian. It is not. That's why she keeps searching the same exact areas and not expanding her searches after 2 freaking solid months. All she wants is the click and views, and I've removed every possibility of me promoting her from my platform because I'm done. She is a liar. She's doing it for the salaciousness of the statement. And she has no receipts to back those statements up. Not one scintilla of receipts. Everything I say comes from a fact that we have uncovered or that law enforcement let us know. And those opinions are based upon those facts. I'm not going to call out the creator's name. I'm not going to call out the creator's name. Those that are in this case know exactly who I'm talking about, and that creator knows exactly who I'm talking about. I had such high hopes for her, too. I surely did. Thought she was a great person when I met her.
But, you know, she left me hanging and then she started lying. So there's nothing I can do about that. All I can say is I don't stand with that. I don't want things taking this case in other directions without facts. And your opinion does not equate to fact. Just because my opinion, just because I say an opinion doesn't equate to fact. They're theories based upon the facts that we know them. Greed does change people. It does. But we're here for Sebastian and Sebastian Rogers. I have spent thousands of dollars on this case, covering it. Thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars that will never be recouped. Because I actually give a damn. I want answers. But you know what? Protecting and serving requires community. Kicked off YouTube. They're trying to get me. Like, this is real life. What have I ever done so horrible that deserves my entire life ruined? Because I search for missing kids because they don't like my attitude, they don't like my personality? Seems pretty barbaric. Seems like a big old bully. Seems like a group of big old bullies. So I'm going to trust the process. You know, this is obviously probably going to cost a little bit more. We'll see what the damage is after we have an opportunity to speak to the attorney about this. But I can tell you this was very, very, I mean, I have legal background. I have never heard of anything like this. The bail bondsman has never heard of anything like this. The officers have never heard of anything like this. Okay, so I mean, this is really weird. And I don't know how it's going to quite work out, but I'm going to let the attorney here deal with it. I'm not going to really be talking about it. We're going to be on members only commenting for a while because, quite frankly, I don't have the time for the drama. We're here for a 15-year-old boy that disappeared. And there's going to be another, I believe, another vigil that's going to be coming up in October, if I remember correctly. There's going to be another vigil that's going to be coming up in October. I figured if I knew about it now, I'd let you guys know in case you guys want to, you know, participate in that. And you know, it's going to be, we're going to keep it about Sebastian, right? And I think we have every right to. Seth wants his son found. Seth wants to know when he's going to come home. Seth's, you know, seeing this display going on with how much energy they can put into me makes it very, very, very difficult. You know what I'm saying? Makes it very, very, very difficult to wonder why they didn't put that in for his son. So their priorities, no, it's not their priorities. It's that it's the pressure. It's not the priorities. It's the pressure. You know, and people think they can do illegal stuff and underhanded stuff. Like, this is now so big that you can't undo what's been done. You know, so it's. I don't think why these people are laughing. I don't think they understand the gravity of what is going on. Is the problem? I think they're so single focused that they don't now know the actual gravity of what's going on, and it's not gonna be in bad for me. Okay. So I'm going through this process. We're not going to be talking about it. We're going to keep it focused on the cases that we cover. And we're going to continue to provide support, love, cases that we cover in bad for me. Okay. So I'm going through this process. We're not going to be talking about it. We're going to keep it focused on the cases that we cover. And we're going to continue to provide support, love, attention, admiration for Seth, for finding his son, supporting his work, supporting his team's work. Yeah, you know what? It was really funny because, you know, I had an opportunity, you know, I had an opportunity to speak with some people, and I took, you know, they were asking me questions as well. It wasn't just one side, one way or the other. So, especially some of the booking officers, and I will just tell you that I'm not far from their perception of what happened at all. So it is. I think that there's a lot of people in law enforcement in different jurisdictions, by the way, that are having the same conclusions as this channel. In the 19 hours I was in jail with a degenerate disc disease, DDD, scoliosis, neck surgery, C5, C6, discectomy infusion on hard concrete for 19 hours. They wouldn't give me a mat. They wouldn't give me a pillow. They wouldn't even give me a blanket. When it was 55 degrees in there, I was freezing and in a lot of pain. I made sure that this was all coordinated with the help of a detective that I now question in every major case she's covered. With the help of her, made sure that they strategically did this so it was done at Sebastian's rescue ride. So the parents can piss on the boy just a little bit more, right? You can't even let him have a rescue ride. This is how evil and disconnected his own mother and stepfather are. What parents do that? What parents sit on their butt and do absolutely nothing for months? What parents, within 2 weeks at the peak of the investigation, the search, hundreds of searchers out there, and they get in their camper and leave the state? What type of parents do this? Right? What type of parents do this? And then, at one vigil, decide to scream at Seth, at his truck, and leave and go shopping for motorcycles.
and then complain that they didn't get the certificate for their award for their son when 2 of them were printed. They should have been there. They chose not to. That was vigil 1, right? Now this vigil, they made sure, with the help of their criminal YouTubers, crashed something that they knew they were not invited to, while they set Bullhorn Betty up for an arrest and made sure the cameras were on me for the takedown of this unlawful arrest. These are the people that say I'm harassing them, and they got their people stalking me everywhere I go. We got Chris on a podcast telling people where I'm located. We got Chris on another podcast, and same podcaster, different time, stating he's going to run me over. Then we have his stepfather showing up where I was just pulled over by. How did he know what my car looked like? How did he know where I'd be? What would entice him to get behind my car and take my picture of my license plate? So where is the harassment coming from me when we have all of this online coming from them? And they did this on Sebastian's prayer vigil, where we had a huge turnout. This was done by his mom and stepfather, right? Why? You got to start asking yourself why. Law enforcement needs to come to Jesus and ask themselves, why in the hell would they get in bed with these people? Because that's what they did. These people that have had CPS in their home, the same parents that allowed this child to be SA'd, abused, stuffed in his room at night, always in trouble. When he doesn't do right, he's got to bag up and throw away all of his toys. Pretty barbaric, if you ask me. Pretty barbaric. And then those same people now have that same child missing from their home and can't explain how or why. I have problems. I have major problems with the law enforcement out there in the community. I have major problems with the mom and the stepfather and his family. Here's why I believe the family knows something. This is why. Because immediately grandma and grandpa, step-grandma and grandpa, leave. That is very weird and problematic behavior for somebody like me. Leave. Then you have Chris and Katie, leave. None of the other family came out to help. Not the cousins, not the aunts and uncles. Remember, Katie said during the summer he likes going over to a family member's house swimming. We've learned that that's either little D or big D, right? The Guy family, right? Second generation construction, Guy family. So why weren't they out there? Why did second generation construction pony up some money for this child that comes over every summer to swim in his pool? Why didn't he take the day off or give his workers a day off to help and aid in the search of his missing nephew? Why didn't anybody from that family help? And the people that did help were met with harassment, bodily injury, and arrest for just trying to help and bring awareness to this case. Whether you like my commentary or not, it doesn't matter. I'm allowed to have my commentary. This is America. This is not a third world country, and we do not live in China. Why did nobody help? Nobody from their family. Nobody. Not the aunts, not the cousins, not the mommy, not the stepdaddy, not grandparents. Nobody. And they want to shut my voice down. Well, seems like they did a bang-up job about that, huh? One thing I will do is when I know I'm right, I'm right. I don't give a rat's ass who I'm not going to bow down and kiss these people's ass that just violated my rights and threw me in jail. They can kiss this ass. Play this for the judge. You violated my rights. Do you think I'm a happy camper? You got a 15-year-old boy to be worrying about, and you're throwing a journalist in jail. Enough's enough. So we'll see how everything goes. You know, it looks like we're going to be in court. I will be there. People wanted to know. I told people when I don't lie to my audience, which everybody keeps saying, oh, she's lying. She's got something up her sleeve. The only time I don't lie to my audience. I just sneak around and do stuff. That's all. Like I'll be here talking 1 minute, next minute you guys all go live, and I'm in Tennessee, or Mississippi, or Utah, right? Just to keep the hate channels, because they don't need to watch what I'm doing. They're stalking me. So I have to try to work within the means that I have to work within. But I can tell you that this is going to be a great case. Every time that law enforcement decides to mess with me, I'm just going to bring them back to this case and tell them why they want to stay. They want me just to go ahead and get my job done and get out of their way. Don't interfere with my work. I have a right to be here. I have a right to work. I have a right to do the job that I'm doing, and they do not have a right to harass me over it. I've been recovering for the last year. It's almost been a year, come November, and I figured it was time to get some things situated in my own personal life before I'm looking for a single dude. And not only that, we already, I have an eye on somebody when I'm ready. Okay. Just saying. There's somebody I'm going to give an opportunity to whenever I'm ready, but I'm not ready. And so I just stick to myself and me and my baby girl. If you guys haven't seen her, might as well wake her up. She hates me when I do this. There she is. Here's my girl. She needs to grow up a little bit. I figured, when she gets about a year old, maybe I'll be ready. Maybe by then I'll be ready. Don't blame me. Yeah, when you keep hitting out, toxic relationship after toxic relationship, and I talk about this, especially with abused women, you have a tendency and a propensity to be attracted to abusive people. And, I thought I was over it, but, looking back on the 2 years that I spent with a very mentally abusive person, I realized that I was just sucked right back into a comfort zone and clearly not over, it's almost like I need to go with an absolute opposite of what I think I need, because every time I think I'm making the right decision, it's a horrible decision. You guys know what I'm talking about. I know you women know what I'm talking about here. As a licensed clinical psychologist of 25, please seek medical attention before something bad happens. Good gracious, nobody cares about your credentials, especially your YouTube credentials. Trust me, if I was not mentally okay, if my mind was not, do I deal with a lot of stress? I do, but I can tell you with everything that I've been through over the last 3 years, if my brain and I had mental illness, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have made it through. I'm just saying, because people are disgusting on this app and have put me through real life trauma. And so there is that. Be healthy, stay single. I'm 45, I don't want to stay single for forever, but I think at the time I'm in my life, I think I need to stay here. I don't want to take my baggage into the next, you know what I'm saying? It's time to let the baggage fall off. Yep, the dog is calling and I can't hold her off any longer. There you go. I'm a therapist. I can't diagnose on the internet. There you go, Kelsey. There you go. That is this dog. Yeah, that's it. I've had real life trauma. Trust me. Believe that. You guys watched the bubbly personality and the dark, me going into a very dark place, and you guys have watched it all. So it's like, I don't want to hear YouTube clinical psychologist. Show me your credentials, okay? Let me look at it with a magnifying glass. Is that Barney Rubble? That was the.
We'll go to literally the top medical centers. We're not going to send them somewhere to get them killed. You people that say that are so stupid.
You're the one that said it. You're the one that said it, not us. Did anybody else see the word unwilling to cooperate? We didn't say that. You did, Nick. Why can't you accept that you said it? Apologize for this stupid statement. And don't act like we're all stupid for pointing out how stupid it was for you to say that.
And I never say stuff like that, but I'm heated because it's been 7 months of BS. Okay?
It's been 6.5.
BS shouldn't have started until maybe now. You wait 7 months and then you start.
Oh, silly us. We're supposed to wait 7 months so nobody would even remember who Sebastian Rogers was.
Here and clown this guy all day.
The only goal, and we're not leaving. We're gonna find Sebastian.
You haven't left the park. Listen, I mean, all jokes aside, because I can sit here and clown this guy all day. This is what's really aggravating, is that this guy keeps pretending that he is here for Sebastian Rogers and Sebastian only. He's only going to go live if there's an update. He's only going to touch on things that are important. Yet all I've heard him say is a bunch of word salad, speak down to everybody in a condescending tone, and quite frankly, just keep a phone in his face the whole time. That's all he's done. He's doing nothing of substance.
And find the people responsible. And the people that think that, and when I say the people, I'm talking about those directly related. We are coming for you. Sorry, guys. Long day.
Long day. You can't even speak correctly. A long day of what? Going live? Watching YouTube videos? Right.
Long day.
Long day. You can't even speak correctly. A long day of what? Going live? Watching YouTube videos? Right, we're coming for you. You haven't even left the park. What are you coming for who? You think Chris Proudfoot is afraid of this little dweeb here? You think anybody's really frightened at the idea we're coming for you? How come Dog hasn't acknowledged that this is his so-called team member? I mean, anybody who claims that they're big known, they're renowned by the elite for getting people into and out of the Me Too movement. And this is unbelievable. He didn't know the date. He didn't know the name. He had to look at his chat for both the answers. And now he stuttered over himself. He's going to tell you, it was a long day. It's been a long day talking to, all these important team members. All these, what team members? Hung can't even hold the phone for you.
When I say the people, I'm talking about those directly related. We are coming for you. Sorry, guys. Long day. A lot of updates, and you should probably hear from Dog tomorrow. I'll see if I can have him on.
Didn't this clown just say there was no updates? Now he's saying there's a lot of updates. Didn't he start off with saying there's no updates? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Because here I am having this stupid ass video about me that I showed receipts that I didn't show. Like, what the fuck?
You can't win for losing.
Like no good deed goes unpunished, man. And then you got people calling Clue and Barbecue Lady scammers. Bitch, what do you mean scammers? They just got all this fucking money and put up the fucking billboards that they bought. You see them. Those are receipts to me. Like I understand that people say no, those are not receipts. Receipts are, from the start to the finish, what people donated to, what you spent. But I mean, does it really fucking matter? I mean, they're spending the money on the billboard. So I guess I don't know.
Well, when I made that video, I foreseen this coming, and that's why I made that video, thinking, okay, well, people who are gonna call Clue out for this, And she's newer to the YouTube scene, so I'm like, I'm gonna put this video just so that if she's ever called out, I can just say, hey, go look at this video, you know. And well, apparently it wasn't good enough.
No good deed, cheesy. No good deed.
I tried to help. Sorry.
They said, fuck them receipts.
Those ain't receipts.
Firefly did a $100 super chat, and she says, Betty and her Bush people, it's rich that you're begging your subs to pay for a lawyer after months of bashing Queen doing it due to your bullshit. You will never, ever have the community we have here. See you in October. I'm here for it. I know that's right, Firefly. She said, fuck this bullshit.
Right?
I mean, fuck, you look how much shit fucking Betty has talked, you guys. Look at all the bullshit she's fucking said.
It's maddening.
Karma's a bitch. She'll bite you in the ass every time.
Design. We had 105 billboards selected. I didn't know that each billboard was going to need its own size, like specific thing. We had a volunteer who was willing to go in and spend hours and hours of resizing and uploading to each specific billboard. Some of the billboards didn't actually go through, and when I emailed Blip 5 times and called them twice or 3 times. What we found out was that some of the Blip billboards, the owners of the billboards, don't actually allow non-commercial advertising. And I have an email that I put on my page that confirmed that that's what they responded. And then I rewrote them again and asked them to please tell me which billboards were denied because of that particular reason. And then they did reply with that. We've been out of town. I mean, I've been on a flight in and out, so which we did not use any of the billboard money for my flight, just so that people know, like, I hate rumors. But so we basically, I mean, the billboards are ongoing. Every day there's money coming out every morning between like 3 and 5 a.m. I get an email every morning, such and such was deducted. Our first week budget was $1,000.
My next question, does it come out every week, or
every day? Every day.
Then you're posting those on your TikToks?
Yep. I actually just posted one last night because some bitch decided to say that we didn't post receipts, which
I think over here too with Clue, like they said, they made a video on me and Cheesy because of the video of Cheesy's video that I just played for doing moments.
In my opinion, I'm just sick and tired of people running their mouth. Like, we're doing the right thing. We're showing if people choose not to acknowledge or do their homework or go look for the video. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, call me, I'll send you a receipt. Hey, email me. It's too much work. There's already too much shit going on for me to be sitting on my phone all day. Like, I run a business. Every day I get on there and I do an analytic. I posted where all the billboards are. I can't make that up. I've screen recorded right from Blip Billboard. And it says our impressions. Let me pull this up real quick and I'll let Tammy talk for a second because I don't want to like be the only person talking. But I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to turn my camera on. I don't want my camera really on me, but oh fuck, I can't do it. I forgot. All right,
she didn't take money without knowing what was going on. Hey, man, let me see.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, give me one section. She didn't take money without knowing what was going on. What she said was her and her friend Tammy were going to donate $500 each to Clue, who was running the billboards. Then another guy came up, who's another content creator, Steven Crabtree. He has a channel. So he came up as well and said, well, if you girls are going to donate, I will match that and donate $1,000 as well. So when they went to talk to Clue about sending her the money, she suggested that they open their own Blipboard and do their own. So then other people
this is live on my phone also. This is live on my phone. I know it's backwards, but oh no, it's not. Perfect. Well, let me put my name up here. We have 1.635 million impressions. We've currently spent $6,620.20, and we've had 94,014 blips. And I know, like, there was someone on TikTok saying, like, oh, it says last 7 days. That's an automatic, like, thing that's already on there.
Okay, so Clue should be able to do that with hers then, too.
Yeah, it's
so
when you log in, it says this right there.
All right, cool. All right, well, there you go. That should fucking take care of everything right there. Just show that piece, and that
and
people,
like,
what she hasn't.
Like, what we've spent so far, obviously, this is going to run through the day. So, like, at the end of the day, we're going to owe balance, and that comes out of my account. So then tomorrow, this is going to be up to 7,000 some. And it adds up every single day. I can't make this up. It's literally, look, it's literally on my phone. Whatever, fuck it. There it is. It's on my phone. It's a website. Anyway, you know, people are going to say what they want. Do I think that what the other person that came up here said was a great idea? Yes. People are going to say, oops. On the flip side, I'm not a tech savvy person. I can't make a design that is in a PDF form. I don't know how to do that shit. Someone did it for us. Otherwise, we probably would have had to do a wire transfer Clue because I would have been so stuck. You know what I mean? But our intention was not like, hey guys, we're on here, we're going to so here's that way. You know what I mean? But,
Tammy, you're echoing really bad. You're going to have to either jump down and pause your YouTube or something.
She has to pause her YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
We didn't come on TikTok and say, hey guys, we're going to run a campaign right now. We're going to raise money for billboards, Blip Bill. We didn't do none of that shit. We did nothing of that. And when we were getting money, I had messaged Clue and was like, listen, we got some money raised for these billboards. You know, we want to put it to good use, blah, blah, blah. By the time 32 hours had come up, we had never imagined that it was even going to be like that. Ever. But I want to know how someone else is going to transfer $22,000 to somebody. Like Switch.
And I think it's wonderful that you guys are doing that. And that's why I appreciate what Clue's doing. So I can just send my money to her and have her do it. Because me personally, yes, I care about all these 2 children in the world, but I need to pay my bills and stuff. So I don't have thousands of dollars to throw up a billboard by myself. So I appreciate that I can throw what I can afford to help these children out. And I can donate that to somebody such as you or Illuminati or Duchess or whoever's doing the Blipboard. And I appreciate that you guys are doing this so that I don't have to worry about it, right?
Yeah, and you said, like, it is, or whoever the girl was on before, like, it is a lot of work. I mean, I already get 300 some messages about other stuff. And on top of it, it's like, where's this billboard? Well, Blip Billboard, like, there's a sign number for each billboard, but it doesn't tell you the address. You have to literally look at, you can make your account, you got to find the sign, type in the sign number, and then if you're from that area, obviously you're going to know, like, what's around there. Like, I can't go and say, hey, in Laverne, Tennessee, it's on, you know, blah, 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 whatever, 4 miles past this exit on the left-hand side by the McDonald's. I don't know none of that shit. So it does require some people, like, if you want to go see a sign for yourself, you're going to have to do some work on yourself. Like, get in there, create a free account, type in the sign number. All the sign numbers that we have posted are listed. All you got to do is push and pause the screen. You can just write Tennessee 14567, then you go into Blip and you type that in. It literally shows you pictures of where the Blip boards are actually at. All right, I'm trying to done. Go ahead, Tammy.
Can you hear us, Tammy?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, I don't know who the lady was. Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good, yeah.
Okay.
Then you just cut off.
Okay, the lady that was up there before, I don't know who she was or have anything against her, but in theory, yeah, it may be a good idea for everybody to do their own Blip boards with their own money, but in reality, that's not going to happen. People don't have time to go and make their own Blipboard accounts and put their money in there and get a picture and everything to post. I just don't see where that's not even an option for there to be hundreds and hundreds of billboards out there. I just don't see people doing that. It's easier for people to donate money and someone else do it. And as long as the person that you're donating to, like Food and Barbecue, are showing their receipts, I just don't see where there's a problem and where this conversation keeps having to happen. And I understand people wanting to see receipts, but if receipts are being shown, then what is the problem?
Oh, well, we showed some receipts, and then we got set, and then we had a video made on us that, that me and Cheesy didn't show the right receipts.
Some people are claiming that she's not showing what's coming in, and that was a point of contention. Like, she's not showing what's coming in comparison to what she's spending on the blips. That's what some people are saying.
I also want to say we haven't taken in a single dollar since our live basically happened. And it's not that I don't think that people want to send it, but I think there's so much drama now around it that we didn't say hey guys, let's add to it. I think we're utilizing the money for what was intended and what we said we were going to use the money for, since there was so much of it at once. So we're doing what we said. We're showing the receipts. We have to go in and remove some billboards and have some locations changed. But nobody on TikTok, on our panel who donated, or in our group or in our community that donated, in multiple communities, nobody's sitting there saying, barbecue, I want to see a receipt every hour. Nobody's saying that shit. It's the people like Bullhorn Betty, who are going on here, and that other girl Jen, she tried to say oh, I want to see receipts, and then I'll apologize for the call. These people that haven't done a fucking thing but grift and are being exposed for grifting or being called out for, let me raise money for my attorney fees. But those type of people that are doing those actions are the only ones fucking complaining.
Yep.
Exactly.
I keep track of my own emails. I'm a solo practitioner, so there is no other lawyer in my practice. And there's me, and my paralegal, and a secretary. So I can assure you, I'm aware of what's going out and how it's going out, and there have not been anywhere near double digits in letters that have gone out. So.
I believe Auntie, she's been very quiet this morning. She has a question.
Yes, you have.
I'm
speechless. I mean, it happens to people around the United States. And honestly, it always comes through very well.
Well, my question, I guess, is what happens to these creators that have received this the cease and desist, but they choose not to follow the cease and desist? What's the next step that you, as an attorney, have to follow to get more done to stop this stuff from happening?
Absolutely. So, you remember, as an attorney, I'm an arm of a client. So my clients will make decisions. With the cease and desist order, we sent we would file a proposed preliminary injunction with the federal court. So, and we basically showed them what we would be filing. My client was skeptical about whether we should show that and whether we should do that. I told him, I was why not? I mean, they're going to have to get a chance to respond to it anyway. Why not show them what we developed? Maybe that might help them in understanding what it is.
I only get one shot.
What it is we're asking them to stop doing, and what we're going to provide to the court. So we provided what we would file if my client so chose to take that next step, with the court. And we did that because I try to be an open book. I'm not one to hide things. I don't believe, I'm not going to jump out and be like, aha, and things like that. I don't feel that solves anything. We're all supposedly mature adults. We can hopefully have some decorum and understand, where we are. So, the plan was for this to be discreet, and that they would just kind of stop, continue with their creating and their information that they get and gather and talk about this case, because I believe that the creators and this group are helping the situation in keeping this in the forefront. Because the last thing we want is this case to kind of fall back onto the back burner. So I'm not going to sit here and discount the power that the creators have in helping to move this along. But with that power, with that tool, just like any good tool, it can be used as a weapon as well. And that's what we really want to try and do, is stop the weaponizing of this power and refocus on using this power for good, and making it a positive direction, keeping this situation at the forefront, allowing people an avenue to discuss it, to come forward if they have information, whatever it may be. Because it is heart-wrenching. We all have. I know I have children, and I can't even. I sit there and try and empathize with somebody, but luckily, God willing, I'm not in those shoes, and I'm not. My kids are safe and sound, but I can't even imagine if one of them were to go missing for over 6 months. I just can't. I can't fathom it. I try to, try and walk into those shoes, and I can't. So I mean, the creators and you guys helping this family to find Sebastian is huge. And I appreciate everything that At Night's doing and the dog is doing, and that's why I have no problem representing them and trying to keep this tool for good and not being used as a weapon. And whatever we can do to get past this situation as quickly as possible, so we can refocus on talking about Sebastian and his family and what we can do to solve that issue would be great. And I'm hoping that this half an hour that I've spent with you and the time you've given me will help to move this issue along and maybe out of the limelight and refocus on where it should be.
And we very much appreciate you being here with us today too. And if there's anything we can do in the future to help get the message out, the word out, if there's searches or new information, leads, things we can anything we can help with the public on our little end. I'm sure all the creators here feel the same way. There's a lot of folks watching that do this. If you don't mind, if I ask just one question about just from a YouTuber and the social media folks that are curious about this, like what can we be doing to help in this situation, with the public, and where we're not interfering in the investigation, but are working in a more positive way from.
Absolutely. I mean, I certainly giving a forum for people to discuss the situation. Because the other thing is how do we prevent these types of situations from going forward? How can we better protect our children? Isn't that the end result? Is and everything I did as a prosecutor is how can we? Yes, we need to react to what's happening.